Hello, my name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm sitting with Phil Capriotti of Senior Tax and Donata Wealth. How are you, Phil?
Cynthia, it's a pleasure to be with you again. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be with you again. This show has been amazing for so many reasons. It's so much fun to do every week because we're talking about some, pretty serious topics, but we're also putting some life into these topics too, which can sometimes be good for people to see that you can actually smile when you're talking about,
you have to. And it's a serious topic, but gosh, I like to have a little bit of fun.
Sure.
When clients come into the office, my staff, they're giggling, they're having fun.
Yeah.
When we get down to business, it's all serious, but oh my goodness, we got to just, lighten it up a couple levels when you come into the office, which is the way our staff. I have probably the best administrative staff in my opinion, in all of Texas, maybe even the entire country. We have about a dozen folks that work in our office, all specialized in separate areas. Our administrators, myself, have 3 separate administrators that just take care of my clients. So we have a lot of staff. I'm a very firm believer in do not skimp on your staff and make it fun. Make it fun for them. I want them to come into the office and look forward to coming in and talking with our clients and servicing the clients and really being part of the team. So in order to do that in the office, it's always fun.
Yeah.
Even though we're talking about serious topics, we're talking about an individual's taxes, we're talking about their estate plan, we're talking about their life, their hard-earned assets. Right?
Absolutely.
So you got to have a little bit of fun. You got to take the edge off, so to speak.
Absolutely. So will there be cookies and coffee involved?
Oh, there's cookie, coffee. We do only authentic Texas spring water. Okay.
Ooh.
Yep, got to be spring water, not that purified hose water.
Okay.
Not that hose water that they put through a filter, right? So it's spring water. We like our green tea. And then we have an assortment of coffees, and we just have just about everything. Most importantly, we have the knowledge and the expertise and the personalities to make our clients feel at home and feel part of the family.
Phil, I'll be there tomorrow.
Lovely.
So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about flying without a net. And I say that because when you think back to when going to the circus, right? You had the trapeze artists, they were going back and forth, and everyone was looking up in awe because there was no net. But retirement, you don't want to be flying without a net, right?
You can look at that 2 different ways, okay? So if you really don't know what you're doing and you're walking through it one step at a time, you better darn well have a net under you, okay? And if you know what you're doing, if you have a plan put in place, part of that plan should be mailbox money, okay? Money that you can depend on every single month, come heck or high water, is there. Mailbox money, that should be your net. So part of that net should be Social Security, a well-crafted plan, a plan that actually looks at Social Security and looks at you receiving it in a tax-efficient manner. Maybe you're a federal government or a state government employee. You might have a pension. You might have 2 pensions. Some of our clients have no pensions. Some of them have 2 and working on their 3rd pension. Okay, that's mailbox money. Guaranteed income that comes in no matter what, regardless of what happens in the market. Every month X amount of dollars are coming in, and you create your spending habits accordingly.
Sure, and that would be one very important part of that net. Would you also say another part would be to carefully select your investments during retirement years? You
want to carefully select your investments. If it's inside of an IRA, a 401k, or any qualified plan, if your current investment advisor, this is my own professional opinion, if your current investment advisor is not actively or tactically managing those assets, you might be missing the boat. In fact, in my opinion, you are missing the boat. The market changes so quickly. Investments change so quickly.
Sure.
You may have small cap US doing extremely well this month, and 3 months from now, they're going through the floor. So each one of your investments, you should know, number one, what your risk tolerance is.
Sure.
Your fiduciary and investment advisor, tax advisor, should help you determine what that is. And then you should also make sure that these assets are actively managed. If the market does the next time the market does a 2008-like correction, how is my portfolio going to be affected? And when it recovers, Is my growth going to be stifled because I am so conservative? Or is my investment advisor moving me in and out actively? Extremely important.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little bit more about decreasing your volatility by diversifying. Explain that to the viewing audience if they're wondering what that means.
Well, some folks, when you take a look at diversifying, some folks look at diversifying, putting money in bonds, okay, or buying bond ETFs or bond mutual funds, or a combination of a stock and bond mutual fund where they're actually being managed by the mutual fund. Your investment advisor is picking fund A, B to Z. And so folks think that, oh, because I have so many different investments, I'm diversified. When we run a Morningstar report, and it's like going to a doctor's office, you have to do the blood test first. So we run a Morningstar report for all of our clients and prospects in order to help them determine how diversified they truly are. Because they may have 10, 20, 30 different funds that all accomplish the same objective. One overlaps the other. So it may at first appearance seem like they're diversified, but once we dig inside of the funds, not diversified at all. So it's extremely important to be diversified and actively managing these funds, not just rebalancing them every quarter, but looking at the current business cycle, current economic cycle, and investing assets accordingly to get the maximum return for the least amount of risk.
Phil, what I love so much about what you offer clients that come in to sit with you is that it is truly a holistic approach where one size does not fit all for retirements. You're able to sit with each individual person and develop a true plan for them, which does help to build that safety net.
We invest a lot of time in education with our clients and prospective clients. And it just starts when they first come into the office. And folks that come in for the first time, they understand it, they see it. Our office runs like a doctor's office that runs on time. You'll come into our office, and in our lobby, you may see 2 or 3 different couples. And they're all seeing different advisors. They're there for different reasons. One might be there for tax advice. One might be there for our attorney's advice. We're doing a trust, or we're updating an estate plan, something of that nature. But when we start with a client, we start from the very beginning. We start with a blank canvas, and then basically we help to paint that perfect retirement portfolio picture.
That is an amazing opportunity for people. And for the viewers that are watching today, Phil, what are you offering if they call in?
If you call 1-888-818-6557, we are offering a complimentary retirement income plan and RMD distribution report. Extremely important. Once you put a retirement income plan together, you need to know, based on your current rate of return, what your required minimum distributions are going to be in and about at every single age. How does it affect my taxation on Social Security? Is it going to cause my Part B and Part D premiums to go up because I'm forced to take extremely large RMDs? How is it going to affect if I predecease my spouse and she now inherits my IRA as a spousal IRA? This is the type of planning that we specialize in, completely confidential and complimentary for the next 10 callers. Call 1-888-818-6557.
Phil, it's time for us to go to break. And viewers, I know you're anxious to make that phone ring. That number again is 888-818-6557. When we come back, we're going to talk more to Phil about how retirement has changed in the past 20 years. You won't want to miss this segment. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Cynthia.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have. by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no-obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Welcome back after the break. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm sitting with Phil Capriotti of Senior Tax and Donato Wealth. Phil, we're having a great show so far today.
It's been lovely, Cynthia. Thank you.
It really has been. So before the commercial break, we talked a little bit about retirement and how retirement has changed in the past 20 years. Like, this is no longer your father's retirement for so many reasons. I mean, would you say that you probably live longer than your parents? I mean, typically now?
Couple things. Number one, we know a lot more about our bodies and how to take care of them. Back in the day, there's really a couple different things. Number one, we're living longer.
Yeah.
So back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, okay, our parents and grandparents' average life expectancy, believe it or not, our grandparents' life expectancy, if you were a man, about 62, 63.
Wow.
In fact, when they initiated Social Security to start at 65, the idea was it was really an insurance policy for folks outliving their life expectancy. So now, because of medical technology, breakthroughs in research, being more knowledgeable about how our bodies work, okay, and taking care of ourselves, we're basically living longer. The biggest fear now is running out of money before we run out of life. And that's, I would say, one of my clients' two biggest fears. What happens if I run out of money? What happens if I predecease my wife? How is she going, if I'm married, how is that going to affect her retirement plan? What do you see the future of taxes being? So these are the concerns: running out of money and being taxed too heavily in retirement because of accumulation of assets. This is why we specialize in that tax planning. So when we look at retirement changes, we also look at, my father was a Teamster, right? He drove a truck. And my mom, she was a union worker.
Okay.
Worked in this in Center City, okay, in the city. Won't get into all the details, but they both retired at 65 with a pension.
Okay.
They both had Social Security.
Yeah.
They both had a pension. They had 4 separate incomes coming in. Life was wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. And so at the death of my father, he passed away at a very young age. He retired and 9 months later passed away.
Oh.
So automatically, the Social Security was gone because they didn't properly claim. The pension was gone, and here's mom with her Social Security and her pension.
Oh.
Income cut in half, plus her lifelong spouse is gone.
Sure.
So we have to plan for that. But the point is, we've seen really the death of the pension, the dawn of the 401k. It has a very serious effect on our retirement accounts and on our life expectancy.
Absolutely. And so honestly, when you're thinking about it, you have to talk about also Medicare. A lot of people are thinking that Medicare is going to cover all of their health care concerns. Is that true?
It's not true. And the funny thing is, some folks come in and say, yeah, I have Medicare, Medicaid. Well, they're two separate issues, right?
Yeah.
Medicaid is really a program that is subsidized by the federal government. It's really for lower income folks. But Medicare covers your hospital. Medicare A, Medicare B covers your medical, but not all of it. It covers a portion of it. Medicare D covers your drugs. Again, not all of it, part of it. So it's when you retire, it's extremely important. Well, what do I look for a Medicare Advantage plan? Do I look for a Medicare supplement that'll cover 100%? Does my plan, do I have to stay in a specific network? Or can I go to any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare? So that's an important decision. If I get sick, they'll cover my home health care, they'll cover my nursing home care, right? Wrong. They will not. So it's like anything. If you've accumulated assets and you need home health care, God forbid, stroke, heart attack, Alzheimer's, okay? If you have the assets, you will be required to spend those assets down unless you put a comprehensive plan together to protect those assets against these types of expenses that are not covered at all, or very rarely covered by Medicare. Skilled care is covered, but it's not comprehensive.
Phil, let me ask you, how many people would you say that you have in your office that come in with a plan in mind for long-term care? Is that something you see often, or do you have to talk to them about planning for that?
Rarely. So most of our clients that are of means, okay, they figure that they'll self-insure. Many of our clients of means said, well, we took out this partnership program, this long-term care policy. We both got it when we were younger. The reason is it covers that first 3 years. I have the minimum. And then after that policy is exhausted, our assets will not be attached. Okay, Medicaid will come in and pick it up. There's a partnership program. We can talk about that in detail. Some folks just say, well, I'll take care of that. So I'll ask them, okay, out of all of your assets, which pile of assets is earmarked for long-term care or home health care? Well, I'm going to take it out of my IRA. Well, let's take a look at that. Let's assume for a moment tax laws change. They're always ever changing. Every single year we have to update, right? Let's assume for a moment that you have the majority of your assets in a retirement account, a government retirement account. When I say government retirement account, you own it with Uncle Sam. IRA, 401k, 403b, 457, any qualified plan that you're forced to take required minimum distributions from once you reach age 72. I'll just take, I have 1.2, I have X amount, the large majority of my assets are in my retirement plan. Well, let's look at this for a moment. Let's look at, yes, you have the assets, but look at the plan it's in. It's in a qualified plan. If you are forced to take $50, $60, $70, $100,000 extra each year out of that plan to cover home health care, and let's assume the current tax code at the time doesn't allow you a deduction to offset that, you just caused yourself an income issue. So we had to take a look at that. We had to have an intelligent conversation with the client. What group of assets do you want to use? Which ones do you recommend, Phil, and why? This is something you want to talk with a financial planner or your investment advisor, your licensed fiduciary. It's a conversation that must be had. All of us baby boomers, it's always going to happen to someone else, not to me, right? And we're all going to live forever, or almost forever, right?
Yes.
Until they find the fountain of youth, Bill.
Aw. Well, it's an amazing opportunity really to talk a little bit about what people can expect to see when they come into your office. But for the viewers that are out there today, what are you offering when they call in?
Today we're doing something special. We've had such an unbelievable response. We're doing a comprehensive retirement income plan consultation. So you can expect to visit with our staff 2 to 3 interviews. We'll start with Social Security if you have not claimed. We'll talk about your retirement income. We'll talk about your RMDs, and we'll talk about your taxes. We'll also take a look at that Morningstar report on your investments. We'll run a comprehensive Morningstar report on portfolios to help you understand just how much risk you have, what your actual rate of return is, and what are your internal and external fees, and how will that affect your retirement income plan. Comprehensive review for the next 10 callers.
And what is that value, Phil?
Over $1,500.
That's incredible. Viewers, I know you are anxious to call in. We're going to go to a break. That number is 1-888-818-6557. I know the phone lines are busy, but don't give up. When we come back, we're going to have more questions for Phil about how to plan your perfect retirement. Please stay tuned.
Thanks.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only. to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have, by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Welcome back. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm sitting with Phil Capriati of Senior Tax and Donato Wealth. Phil, we're back to the best part of the show, I think. I love this, the viewer questions.
The Fabio and Capriati connection. I absolutely love it. Okay, great.
Right?
All right.
We could probably swap Italian recipes.
Oh, without doubt. Hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
I love making sauce.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to digress from the topic, but yes, every Sunday
That's
is all about
okay.
cooking.
My mom taught me how to make the absolute best meatballs. It's a combination of pork, veal, and sausage. It's fantastic. Fantastic. We'll have
That
to
is
swap that
awesome.
out. Family, it's a decade family recipe.
Oh.
Passed on from many grandmothers before me.
You know, it's the best way to show love is cooking, I think. That's how I love my family,
That's
is
a fact.
providing great, I hope they're great meals, but great meals. I have a question, Phil. This came in from a viewer. I have not yet retired. I am considering purchasing an immediate annuity using all the funds in my 403B plan upon retirement. Would the annuity distribution satisfy required minimum distributions? And how will placing the entire amount in the annuity be taxed? How will the monthly payments be taxed? It's kind of a three-part question there.
Great question. Stop, drop, and roll.
Okay.
Okay. Don't do anything. Okay. When we look at annuities, it's extremely important that we look at all of the different annuities. So you have variable annuities, you have fixed annuities, you have immediate annuities, you have fixed indexed annuities, you have annuities that provide beneficiary or benefits. You have annuities that don't, that only provide income. You have annuities that have increasing income. You have annuities that are static. You have annuities that provide spousal benefits. You have annuities that don't. There are so many nuances in annuities that it's stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
Roll right on down to our office and let us do an annuity comparison.
Okay.
And it's important to do what's called, we refer to it as a comparison analysis. We want to compare any recommended annuity, especially from what I call the policy peddlers that aren't really true fiduciaries.
Okay.
We really want to take a look at everything that's available. Absolutely, positively do not buy anything over the internet. Okay. And the reason I say that is because it sounds great. You get a lot of sizzle, but you really don't get a whole lot of filet mignon behind that sizzle. So when we look at annuities, I want to normally, when we recommend an annuity, number one, never put all of your money into one product. You haven't diversified.
Yeah.
Number two, you only want to put as much as needed to cover that mailbox money.
Okay.
Don't really want to be able to put more than that. You also want to make sure that that annuity, if it's a qualified annuity, has the opportunity to be converted to a Roth IRA.
Okay.
So as you're going along receiving income, part of it or all of it can be converted to a Roth so that you can turn your income from taxable income to tax-free income. Some folks don't even realize that there are annuity products available that allow you to do what we call internal Roth conversions. A lot of nuances. While I'm in the annuity, once I elect to receive lifetime benefits, do I forfeit all of the money inside of it? When I die, Does the insurance company get, do they become my primary beneficiary, or does my spouse, my children, grandchildren? All of this has to be organized. This is why I say I don't recommend buying an annuity over the internet. You want to talk with a financial advisor who's a licensed fiduciary, who's legally obligated to look at all of these nuances and choose the annuity that best fits your needs. And works in your best interest, not the best interest of a salesperson or a per se insurance company.
Absolutely. And all of the advice is invaluable that you provide. And I think what we're trying to really hit home with is that people coming in to sit with you, they're going to have the full picture just drawn out in front of them, because like you said earlier, it's not one size fits all. Every person is different that's coming in. And a question like that with 3 parts, I think really needs to be addressed to you face to face as well.
It's huge. We'll have prospects or potential clients come in, and they've been to other advisors here locally. It's amazing what we see that comes into the office.
Sure.
3, 4 different annuities. And I'll ask them, what did you purchase? Because we put a retirement income plan together. We structure it professionally. What was this product for? Well, I don't know. What was this product for? I don't know. They tell me just turn this one on this time and this one on that time. And I'll talk with them and I'll say, well, do you see your advisor, your insurance agent / advisor each year? No. Once every 3 years, once every 4 years. Do they do your taxes? No. So we'll look at plans that really have no definitive direction. So we really need to, before you jump into any annuities, I'm not an annuity hater per se, like that individual that comes on and hates annuities, but only when necessary. Normally with annuities, you want to look at, I want an annuity that gives me increasing income. I want an annuity that gives me uncapped gains. I want an annuity that covers my spouse if I'm married. I want an annuity that provides beneficiary benefits to my children and grandchildren. I want a lot out of an annuity before I'm willing to invest even a portion of my retirement.
Absolutely.
Okay? So extremely important with annuities. Tread lightly, stop, drop, and roll. Roll on into Senior Tax and Insurance Advisors and Donato Wealth Management and come in for an annuity comparison analysis. We'll do it absolutely free of charge. Call 1-888-818-6557. That's again 1-888-818-6557. God bless you all, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the office.
Bill, thank you. Another phenomenal show this week.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Really.